Hi guys, and welcome to the 45th and final episode of South by Südwest. How can I say that with such certainty? Well, all you need to do is look at the league table. One match remains. We are in 7th place on 50 points, guaranteed our best ever finish in the Zweite Bundesliga with SV ELVERSBERG. However, we are 7 points south of that promotion playoff spot, and there just aren't enough points for us to win. We can finish potentially as high as, as high as 6th, because if I look at the goal difference, Hamburg, who are 3 points ahead of us, are +5 on the goal difference, so chances are pretty good that we are not going to overtake them. But a 5th place finish is definitely potentially there. And how did we end up here? Well, we basically fell down on the job. The draws against Hannover 96 and VNV Spaden before and during the last episode certainly did not help. Now, we did start things off with a 3-0 victory and a total demolition at home against Ingolstadt. Manuel Feil got the scoring opened up in the 17th minute with a penalty. Marco Hein added one. Bombase Conte, with his first of the year, made it 3-0. And Ian Yush Popescu getting sent off in added time in the first half certainly did not help Ingolstadt's cause. But then at home, we just could not solve Hansa Rostock. We made it 3-1 in the 94th minute. So at the very death of the match, Marin Klaric coming off the bench and getting through. But it just was a very poor showing. They scored basically on their first 3 shots of the match. And the first 2 were almost identical. Ball moved up the right-hand side by Enzo Chato, squared into the middle, first to Ryan Don-Nadiri, then to Thomas Gladrow. There just was absolutely nothing we could do. And that pretty much was the match that sunk us. We did get a little brief glimpse of potentially maybe making a late run into it with a 2-1 win on the road at Fortuna Dusseldorf with goals by Keen Scher and Ohene Cole coming off of the bench in that one, sealing the victory in the 89th minute. But an absolute stinker at home against Hamburg. We could not solve Marco Gruel. Part of the issue was there was a ball that was cleared to our defensive line. And the only guys who were even in the vicinity were our 3 primary defenders, our left back, Akhmedov, and Adieli and Zentner. For some reason, I forget which one it was, whether it was Adieli or Zentner, instead of just playing the ball down to their feet, settling it down, and surveying the field ahead of them, they headed it right towards the center circle, and there was nobody there but Hamburg players, and they just charged up the pitch, and they beat us 3-1. We looked absolutely lifeless, which is pretty much how I would describe the match against Hertha Berlin. We did enjoy the greater amount of possession. We were pretty close on the XG. We outshot them. We hit the target twice as many times as they did. We just could not solve Thiago Esteval. 2-0 your final score, and that put us in the hole where we find ourselves. We've got 1 match left to go for our dignity. We can end the season on 53 points, potentially, which again will guarantee our greatest ever finish in the league. Here's how we are going to set up. By the way, we didn't play those last couple of matches with Bombase Conte. He picked up an injury. He is gone for the remainder of the season. And yeah, we kind of just fell apart. Keen Scher picked up a little bit of a knock, so he was not at his best, and I totally forgot to run through how we were going to line up. That's how discombobulated. I'm a little sad about this. I've got to admit, it has been over the last couple of seasons. It's been nice that we have been playing better than we had for a while, but I still feel like this team was stuck in a rut, and we hamstrung ourselves by the way that we limited geographically how this team is going to be set up. The biggest change is going to be Reichenwald at left back in place of Darkhan Akhmedov. Akhmedov is gone at the end of the year, so we might as well get Reichenwald in there. Not that we are going to continue to save. Now, I may decide to kind of keep playing in the background and just do like a season update if anything good happens. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments. If I don't hear from you, then honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Hasn't been a ton of interaction on this save, whether it's FM fatigue, whether it's you guys just were not really interested in the first place. I thought when I came up with this idea, now, and I've got to apologize to the guys in the Discord and in my stream. I know it's been a little while since I've been streaming on Twitch regularly, but when we were talking about this, the original idea was doing this basically, Paris FC or Red Star Paris, one of the Parisian teams trying to take down PSG using players from Paris. And I thought that was a good idea, but I wanted to take it to the extreme, and here we came to Germany and to Saarland, taking the smallest state in Germany, thinking that maybe it would not be so limiting with the player pool, but I was wrong. I was determined to persevere and make it work. Samir Shaheen couldn't get it past Artegal. He's able to knock that behind. Corner opportunity 12 minutes in for ELVERSBERG. I just honestly believed that we were going to see faster improvement, that we were going to get better players in our youth intake, being a team in Germany, and the way that we were able to build up our facilities. I thought we were kind of really gearing up towards something pretty massive and huge, but it just didn't really pan out that way. A lot of the players that came through were kind of fair to middling. There are those. Marco Hein has been great. Keen Scher has been absolutely wonderful. Can't complain about him. Rafael Adieli, Robin Zentner have both been excellent. I think it took me personally a little too long to get Zentner involved. I didn't really recognize that he could potentially be as good a player for us as he was. I was kind of stuck with Carlo Zickinger because he was our best player and our captain. So there are a lot of things with this save that I could have done much better. Now, you may ask, what is coming next? I think Cher was offside there, and the save was made by Artegal. The flag didn't even go up, but he still called it offside. What kind of Mickey Mouse operation is this league anyway? I've got a couple of ideas of what's coming up next. There's actually something that I have been working on. I'm not going to announce it specifically here because there's a lot of work I still need to do on it. It's something that we've done to a certain degree on Twitch before. So it's the type of save that I have done before, but presenting it in a way that I've never done before on YouTube. So that's taking a lot of my brain power outside this, which is one of the reasons why I haven't been streaming at the same time. Probably return to it. I don't know if I'm going to return to it before, honestly, we get to FM26 or whatever they're going to call it. Some encouraging news that the BBC, broken by my friend FM Console. Hopefully I'll remember to kind of tag him in this so he's fully aware of it. That the BBC has solicited interview topics for when they do sit down with Miles Jacobson and the guys at SI. Probably just Miles, but they weren't really specific about that, even though they did have a picture of Miles. Hey, Marco Hein pulled down. We've got a penalty and a chance to take the lead against FC Nuremberg, a team that, again, we just have not done as well against as we probably should have throughout the course of the save. And I feel there are a number of teams like that. Lars Gindorf slotting it home, just his second goal of the season. He has really underperformed. Now, because of the emergence of Keen Shear, he hasn't quite gotten the playing time that we probably would have given him. Lucas Hoffman also playing very well as a center midfielder, which is where we would have put Gindorf if he wasn't playing the 10. Right now, absolutely nothing going on as far as Nuremberg is concerned, so naturally we are going to draw this match 1-1. Just you wait. I've said it out loud, so Football Manager is going to make it happen. So there is a big save that I'm working on. Now, it's not going to be a daily series. I'm going to be kind of doing more of the season recap type of mode. Again, something I've never done before. It's been done very successfully by certain people. And because we're not going to be doing that each and every day, I came up with potentially a second save idea. So we may have 2 new series coming to the channel sometime next week. I just kind of really need to make sure idea number 1 I can execute in the way that I need to. I've already started, but again, a lot of work remains ahead before we can debut that. My hope is for Monday. honestly, I really do hope to get that new save going by Monday. But then there's a secondary save, which is kind of going to be more episodic, at least the way that I have it envisioned right now. Almost a goal off of a corner, but once again, we just could not capitalize. One of the many things that we just don't seem to do nearly as well as we should 6 years in. So keep your eye out on that. I will be dropping information obviously here on the channel. I'm going to try to update the Discord as well as we get things rolling there. And maybe I'll even use the other social media tools at my disposal. I'm terrible at it. I admit it. I apologize for that. If you guys have any suggestions on ways that I can better promote the channel, myself, content that you want to see, and I'd love to hear about what you'd like to see. So make sure, drop a comment below if you have already gotten this far into the episode. We're only about 10.5 minutes in, so hopefully you are still sticking around as we hit the 65-minute mark in this match. And I'm not sure how many changes I'm going to make. I am going to replace Lucas Hoffman as our left wing. Ohene Kool is going to come in there. Marco Hein playing decent. Everybody's playing pretty decently around the pitch, and we only have a 1-0 lead, so I don't want to get too crazy by subbing off our regulars just to get guys minutes in their legs, because frankly, A, it's the last match of the season, so what does their fitness really matter moving forward, and B, it is the last match of the series, so you guys are probably never going to see these guys again unless, as I said, I decide to continue playing this save offline. And then if we are able to finally make things happen, because I do feel that this team does play better when you guys aren't watching, which is kind of sad in a way, but also kind of poetic and apropos for the way that things have been going so far this summer here on the Cellophane FM YouTube channel. Great save by Driaka, probably the best opportunity of the afternoon for FC Nuremberg. Paul Henrich is coming in to replace a weary Lars Gindorf. So Gindorf going off with his second goal of the year being the difference so far. Schlatze almost putting that in on goal, but Driaka able to make that stop. Also, hope you guys like the kit. I've got 2 subscriptions with Mystery Jersey King, not an ad, but I am a massive proponent of their service, because first off, I'm here in the United States. They're coming out of Newcastle, and I get things super quick. I think I ordered this a week ago. Maybe 8 days ago, and with the way things are going with things being imported into the United States, that's really where the time is. But so I've got 2 separate subscriptions, each with their own kind of set of rules for what I'd like to see. In the last 2 boxes, I got Zamax kits from the Swiss Challenge League, so they're not the same. I've got the pink one that I wore 7-8 episodes ago, and because I like to, as soon as I receive it, I like to put on the new kit. So I just got it right before I started filming this episode. But this is their away kit, I believe. So I have a third kit and an away kit. I'm not sure. I don't remember which one is which. Both 24-25 seasons. So this is fantastic. I really do. If I'm going to root for a team in the Swiss Challenge League, it will be Zamax. And if I'm mispronouncing that, let me know in the comments as well. I've actually never heard it out loud. I'm just going by my general knowledge of the English language, even though maybe it isn't even like fully English, because it could be French, it could be, well, I guess it's not German. Is it German? How many X's I've never come across an X in German, now that I think about it. Let me know down below if there's a German word with X in it that I am not thinking of right now. Now, I know French has plenty like Chamonix and Le Croix and things like that. All right, we are in control, though. Just about a minute and a half remaining on the clock. We've got it in the midfield. Niederlander Henrich feeding Cole. He's in. He shoots, and just a bit outside. Goal kick for Nuremberg. So it looks like we are going to end the series with a win. However, I don't think we're going to be any higher than the 7th place that we started. Adieli looking to get things going off of the free kick after the foul was called. Osnabrück beating Kaiserslautern. Kaiserslautern going up, by the way, as champions. And there it is, the final whistle. 1-0 your score. The Lars Gindorf penalty was the difference, and we at least end the series on a high note. Finishing in 7th place, 53 points. We've never had 53 points before. A plus 15 goal difference. Absolutely excellent. We ended up 4 points shy of our goal. So if we had just done better in any of those matches that we were talking about, either the draws, especially the ones against like Eintracht Braunschweig and Wiesbaden, or any of those losses to Hansa Rostock or Hertha Berlin, any of those teams, I really wish we could have done a little bit better. But for the league table, so Karlsruhe and Paderborn are going to be in the relegation playoffs. As we look at the league table, Paderborn in that 16th place position. Braunschweig and Wiesbaden, they are down. And the fact that we couldn't beat either of them really, really ticks me off. Dynamo Dresden is going to face off against Bochum for a chance to play in next year's Bundesliga. So thank you all very much for being here for this series. I wish it could have ended in a better way. I wish we could have spent some time in the Bundesliga, but sometimes the FM gods just don't smile on us in the way we would like. If you did enjoy the series, if you enjoyed this episode in particular, make sure you hit the like button, get the algorithm going. Maybe this series will get a second life once it's already dead through the playlist, which you'll be able to click at the end of this one. It may already be on the screen right now for all I know. So like it, subscribe to the channel, and come on back. Keep your eyes peeled on this page for what's coming up here on the Cellophane FM YouTube channel. There will be more content as we gear up and wind down FM24, getting ready for FM26, whenever it may be coming out, and I hope to see you all then. Until we meet again, my friends, bye-bye.